During the late 1960s, the Kinks were on a roll, releasing their three most loved albums between 1967 and 1969, and basically recording five albums worth of material when you also count the Great Lost Kinks album and the singles and B-sides, not album stuff, compiled on the Kinks Chronicles. And in 1969, they released the rock opera Arthur, and as great as it was, packed full with 12 great songs, there was still more goodness in them that year. As heard on the B-sides of three singles released that year, one of those B-sides being this Davies track, Mindless Child of Motherhood. Already, you know that we've got something really dramatic starting, like those like minor chords, like A minor, da na na, going into F. That kind of plunge between A minor and F always creates kind of a melodramatic, sort of heavy intensity, and we got that kind of like harpsichord and everything going on.
I've been traveling a long time to be just where you are. In dreams I have seen you, but you are so very far. How long must I travel on to be just the way you are? How long must I travel on to be just the way you are?
Okay, so much to take in there. For a 1969 song, that had a lot of like unfolding intensity and build up and passages. I mean, one of those songs where the chorus takes forever to arrive because it goes through like a verse and it goes through not one but two pre-chorus, different bridge sections, making the ultimate arrival of the chorus just this like grand cathartic experience. And of course but then again, arguably you can, and then it goes into like that post-chorus transition back into, well, a repetition of the passages. But let's unpack the lyrics. I've been traveling a long time to be just where you are. In dreams I have seen you, but you are so very far. How long must I travel on to be just where you are? How long must I travel on to be just where you are? That part where he goes that those lines are sung over like the first, kind of like you could say the bridge between the pre-chorus. Actually, you could structure it as verse, bridge, pre-chorus, chorus, and then where he throws in like the C chord, dun 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 dun, and then on the line where he says to be just where you are, he throws like an A. There's so much like chordal angularity in that passage, especially for 1969. Yeah, dun 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 dun. Yeah. Dun, I was your friend, and here we go into the passage where we have that kind of like 12 string sounding, that like I was your fool. I feel for you, though we're far apart. As he's saying I feel for you, there's either like a kind of like a skipped beat or something, or there's like a count. There's kind of like a leap in there, I feel, as there would be in the chorus, but I haven't quite got that. I know that there's some bars of three in this song thrown in that give it some of its momentum, but though I don't know if it's necessarily right there or not. I feel for you, though we're far apart. I see your face, lost without trace. I see your mind, just an empty space. Huh. I'm a little bit... I have to tell you, I don't exactly know what this song is about. It's like he... during the verse and the bridge, I was suspecting that he was in pursuit of a woman who's just evaded him throughout, who's haunted him over time. Or he's tried to find someone. But then again, I don't quite know how that would play into the title yet. I'll see. Yeah, I was your friend, I was your fool, I feel for you, though we're far apart. I see your face, lost without trace. I see your mind, just an empty space. It seems to be someone who just evades him, mystifies him. Mindless child of motherhood, you have lost the thing that's good. Mindless child of motherhood, you have lost the thing that's good. Interesting. As all I have to say now, I'm going to look up what's been said about this. But and then during the chorus, dun 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 dun. I think there's a bar of maybe 5 thrown in there. Yeah.
I know that it's unfair to bear a bastard son.
Hear all those little bits that are thrown in there, like little guitar licks, nuances. Once again, it shows their maturity at this point in time. Like for a 1969 song, there are a lot of like careful details and nuances that not many bands were doing yet at this point in time.
Goodbye to you happy when we gonna shed along. How long must we travel on to be just the way you are? How long must we travel on to be just the way you are? I was your friend, I was your fool. I feel for you, though it's far apart. I see your face, lost without trace. I see your mind beating up the stairs.
Yeah, there was a count of 3 in there. That dun 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 dun. Yeah.
Mindless child of motherhood, you have lost the thing that's good. Mindless child of motherhood, you have lost the thing that's good.
It went mindless child of motherhood 6. You have lost the thing that's good. Here is bass work. Here the bass work. I think of John Dalton, who had replaced Pete Quaife at this point in time. Really, really kind of loud, powerful, basic, of course, but pretty good separation too for a 1969 recording. Tonal clarity. You could hear the instruments. Like Mick Avory's drums, serviceable, I would say. Still got that kind of trebly 60s sound going on. Yeah, I noticed that the bass kind of had like a throb to it that was really loud. The brittle harpsichords, really trebly. You could hear them like separate from the kind of jangly guitar and the riffing, alternating with the riffing. Yeah. I also like how the different parts of the song. Like one part you would have riffing, you would have chordal, like angularity, and then in another section, a different section, you would have kind of jangly pull-offs and such. And God, odd time signatures. I mean, very very. They covered a lot of new musical ground in this song. Let's go see if I can crack the code on these lyrics. Let's see here. I know that it's not fair to bear a bastard son, but why do you hide there when we could have shared a love? How long must I travel on to be? So I'm now getting the feeling that this is somehow about a woman who is pregnant out of wedlock, although I don't know what the narrator's relationship to the subject is yet. How long must I travel on to be just where you are? How long must I travel on to be just where you are? I was your friend. Okay, we repeat the same lyrics that we've heard already. So basically, the only difference in the lyrics is between the first two verses to give us insights into what the rest of this is about. I'm going to read that pre-chorus again, just because it's so kind of dense. And I was your friend, I was your fool. I feel for you though we're far apart. I see your face lost without trace. I see your mind just an empty space. The lyrics say that after the second chorus, he says, to me. I like how on Spotify they have the writer's full name spelled out. David, I was looking at the middle names and getting kind of confused. David Russell Gordon Davies, aka Dave Davies, who sang this song, of course. And I'm wondering if that's why it wasn't included on. Well, I guess it wasn't really part of the Arthur concept. But Arthur could have even been even more perfect than it was, if you could imagine that. I think perhaps if maybe, I don't know, Young and Innocent Days had been saved as a B-side and this had been put in its place. Just a suggestion. I want to see what the meaning of this track is. And to think that it only goes through all the sections that we heard twice, and it's over and done in like 3 minutes, and yet it's such a packed 3 minutes. It's such an intense 3 minutes. I mean, and I guess it's because each section really extends itself and stretch it. They maximize each section with. Let's see here. Did anyone? It's like 100 degrees in Portland today, so I'm wearing just a wet towel. That's. I don't think I see anything coming up that discusses the. Oh, there's an article. Oh well, I'll read this article for a bit and see if there's anything worth mentioning. But now on to another 1969 B-side. Oh, for the record, Mindless Child of Motherhood was the B-side to Driving. Yeah, poppy, up-tempo track off of Arthur. Actually, very much in the same vein as Afternoon Tea, I think. I think that. Yeah, the two had very similar intros. Another B-side, the B-side of the 1969 single Plastic Man, and arguably a better song, even if the recording is somewhat rough. The song King Kong. See, I I think this is kind of a good musical representation of King Kong. I mean, it's really rough, it's loud, and you got that pound pound beat. Is that, I guess that's supposed to be King Kong, stomping, walking, the
I'm King Kong and I'm 10 feet long. Got a big six gun, everybody. I'm King Kong, got a hydrogen bomb. I can blow up your houses, so you better beware. Everybody wants power. Everybody wants fame. Everybody wants money.
Listen to that high tone in the guitar. That no 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 no. That really makes that section. It gives it kind of like there's a ring to that riffage right there. That serves as like one of the main earworms of the track. Let's unpack the lyrics. I'm pretty sure they're goofy. Oh, by the way, I just found out what Mindless Child of Motherhood is about, but I'll save that till the end of the video. So, but onto the King Kong lyrics. I'm King Kong and I'm 10 feet long, got a big sixth gun and everybody is scared. I'm King Kong, got a hydrogen bomb. I'm starting to think this isn't actually about King Kong. I'm thinking King Kong is a metaphor for like war, for artillery, military. I can blow up your houses, so you better beware. I'm thinking this might be like an anti-terrorism song or like an anti-war song. It would suit the times. Everybody wants power. Everybody wants fame. Everybody wants money. Yeah, this is not about King Kong. La 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 la. Little man's weak and big man's strong. Everyone wants to be King Kong. Oh yeah, this definitely has much more of a message to it than I thought it was just going to be a goofy song about the movie character. And of course, the lyrics are kind of hard to make out when you listen because of the kind of rough audio limitations of the recording. Actually, in the first, and I guess what stands as the Kinks tome, the one written by John Savage in 1984, Ray is quoted as saying that he liked the B-side of Plastic Man much better than the A-side. He liked King Kong much better than the A-side Plastic Man, and that he wished that this song had turned out better, referring, I guess, to the recording quality. Although some aspects of the recording quality work out, like that riff, that sound, that tone that I was pointing out. Yeah, I guess I'll just, okay. I'm King Kong, I got so much money, I can buy anybody who gets in my path. I'm King Kong and I'm big and strong, I can blow up your houses, so you better beware. And then the same chorus. And then I guess he repeats the first verse again. Yeah, so it's basically a rant against power, corruption, terrorism, exploitation of. It could be it could be read in a number of ways. Exploitation of the third world for profit. Yeah, concerns that were going through a lot of people's heads back in the late 1960s. Expansionism, policing the third world. Yeah.
I'm King Kong, I got so much money, I can buy anybody who gets in my head. I'm King Kong, and I'm big and strong.
Hear that meow, 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 meow.
I can blow up your houses, so you better beware.
I wonder what was creating that sound, or was that just kind of like a side effect of the distortion that was going on.
Everybody wants power. Everybody wants praise.
Hear that like cowbell type drumming this is kind of paving the way for the 70s hard rock sound. I like how the band are really kind of up with the times. Like this kind of works well alongside some of the bands that kind of post-dated their arrival, like Spooky Tooth. Yeah. Actually, wasn't Mike Kelly a Spooky Tooth the drummer who kind of was the first to really codify the use of the cowbell in hard rock? Is that kind of something that can be traced back to him? I don't Oh, I'm hearing vocals. I'm hearing female vocals. I'm wondering if it's Ray Davies' wife. The voice is going do 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 do, like an octave higher than this, but do 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 do, like that.
Everybody wants little and sweet and big and strong. Everyone wants to big and strong. Oh, yeah.
What is causing that circular droning sound? That circular kind of trebly droning sound there. I guess actually, despite coming out in 1969, came out in March of 69. This was the last recording. This and its flip side were the last recordings recorded with Pete Quaife. Yeah. Let's see. I guess. Yeah. He quit the. I guess. Let's see. Quaife quit the group and was replaced with, shortly after the release of the single, Quaife quit the group and was replaced with John Dalton, who had substituted for Quaife in 1966 when Quaife was injured in a car accident. Quaife stated in 1998 that Plastic Man was his least favorite song that he recorded with the Kinks. Yeah, the King Kong, the B-side, is the better song, should have been the A-side. Even if it was a bit too rough to probably to have charted. The roughness of the song, the roughness of the song would have been off-putting to a lot of listeners, I imagine. I also love that solo, that really warm, simmering, thick tone on that solo in the middle, kind of Hendrixy, kind of Cream-like, yeah, going kind of into that territory just a bit. Yeah, the only time they ever really did, as a matter of fact. But showing that they were up with the times. That yeah. Let's see. Oh, back to "Mindless Child of Motherhood." Apparently, that song was about a situation where when Dave Davies was 15, he impregnated his girlfriend at the time, and Dave's mother broke them up by convincing him, by lying to him and telling him that the girl wanted nothing to do with him. So he never got to meet his daughter. Um, it was clear, and this article written by Jim Connolly of Media Loper says it was clearly a key incident in his life as it came out in more than one song, notably Funny Face from Something Else. Oh, the solo single Susanna's Still Alive, and finally the crashing, cathartic, mindless Child of Motherhood. Oh, I like how he said. I love the adjectives he used in front of the title. Crashing, cathartic. Yeah, that. Huh. That I could have easily written that myself if I was looking for two words to summarize it. Um, let's see. Starting off with a rolling bass, rumbling guitar, and delicate harpsichord, Mindless Child of Motherhood suddenly crashes into drum rolls and power chords as Dave pulls no punches about his pain, with his lead guitar, which will never abandon him, echoing nearly every line. Oh, it goes on. This is a well-written article. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know what the. I don't know what the slant or what the aim or vision of Media Loper is, but I'm gonna have to bookmark that article and see. Yeah, that's good content there. Um, yeah, I remember reading a few years ago about how Dave had like the love of his life, or like this woman that always haunted him, and at some point, like in the late 80s or early 90s, he met up with this woman again, and I can't remember when I read that article, if it was before or after I had something similar. It may have been before, like 3 years ago. Like for several years, I was thinking about this woman from my 20s, and I was like haunted by her for a while, thinking it may have been the one that I let get away. It may have been the opportunity of a lifetime. And I started looking for her on Facebook, and every now and then trying to like wondering what her story, what became of her. And then I finally found her. After 2.5 years, I found her, and she turned out to be single, and I got her to go out with me. And I did everything. I did like I put so much effort into that, and then it turned out she just wasn't quite. Even though she was coming over and we were going out and doing things, she just wasn't quite in the psychological frame of mind to be really with anyone at that point. And the happier I tried to make her, the angrier she seemed to become. And I just kind of finally let it go when another guy who had also been nostalgic about her resurfaced as well. And things got even more complicated. Anyway, yeah. The Kinks, two great songs from 1969, both non-album tracks by the band. King Kong, the heavy, tremorous, anti-war, anti-materialism statement by the band, and Mindless Child of Motherhood, a very earnest plea about a very formative experience for Dave Davies, with a very epic, anthemic, and fold-out, complex sequence of musical passages that were very advanced for 1969. Yeah. For more rubies and sapphires from the Kinks, see the directory of albums by English K artists linked in the description below for red hot tracks and tasty purples from all of the Kinks albums from 1964 to 1984. Many, many, many rubies from this band. Very prolific. During that span of time. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about these songs, the instrumentation, the layers, the passages, the intensity, the soloing, the sounds that were employed. If you know some of the sounds that I couldn't quite identify the source of, yeah, leave a comment on that. Any further observations about the lyrics, yeah, leave a comment about that too. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.